Hello everybody and welcome back to Survival Chances Slim, our maximum difficulty oxygen not included. Let's play. Probably a shorter stream today because I have some stuff that I need to do in a few hours, but we'll try and make some progress while I have time. And what we mainly want to make progress on is getting our plastics facility up and running over here, and then ultimately getting a steel thermal aquatuner running over here, supplied with water from our water line all the way down here. I'd also kind of like to, as we work on that, get our second oxygen line finally completed, running to our base. That way we can get a little bit more O2 going to our duplicates. And probably have to do a little bit of work in terms of metal refining to get our steel. We might be able to, as we set up this plastics operation, do a little bit of space exploration, get up here to the gravitas center and deconstruct the windows to get the steel that way. I'm not sure which way is going to be faster, so let's just go ahead and unpause and start in on things. I think we're doing pretty fine on food. I think we're doing okay-ish on oxygen, and I really just want to get our cooling solution up and running. That way I don't have to worry so much about the heat situation of our base, which is becoming kind of grim. This is not looking exactly where we want things to be. This is all just kind of not a great temperature to be at, especially when we need to keep these farms all at a reasonable temperature. So that's going to be top of the docket. Also, why are 4 dupes starving right now? What is going on here? Sometimes when you reload from a save, various things happen, like all these dupes are suddenly needing to go to the bathroom. Not exactly sure what is up with that. 964 kilocalories, 806, 826, 742. Okay. I think if we leave them alone, they'll be fine. I'm not entirely sure. The schedule still applies to everybody, right? Every once in a while, there's just bugs that happen that kill things when you load a game. In any case, I think we're good. They'll finish up their bathroom business, and then we should be good to go, right? Devin, Bubbles, Abe. Devin. Okay, so they're cycling away there. That's fine. All right. I'd also like to expand out our ranches as we continue along here. We have 6 out of 5 critters here and 3 out of 3 here, but we have a bunch of eggs in here. So we're going to need to start moving them to over here. And I think we're just slowly in the process of doing that. Hatches, hatchlings, sage hatchlings. And this one is more or less the same. Yeah, I think we're going to say that we want this one to auto-wrangle surplus as well and send it over here. That way we can get ourselves more hatches, get them laying more eggs, and work our way out of our food situation in that fashion. Starvation, starvation. Yep. Okay. What priority do I have this set at? Yeah, I think this is the next thing I want to work on. Getting this up and going. And then they can run on this manual generator a little bit longer. This is at priority 9. Great. Okay, good. So I think we're set on that. Also, one last thing. I want to go ahead and... yeah, sandstone's fine. I want to go ahead and start getting some clay up here. This isn't really necessary because our duplicates can breathe polluted oxygen just fine, but I would like to just set up a little bit of air filtration in these areas. Let's go ahead and say priority 8 on these. That way we can get some clay, because I might ultimately want to set up a few kilns, get some ceramic, and use that for my insulation around my aquatuner room. We're going to set up the aquatuner chamber part of the cooling solution first and fill it with water and get all of that done, because we can just go back later and add the steam turbine and get our cooling done that way. Let me go ahead and check the stream to see how things are going. And all right, looking good. See, that's the general plan. We are going to get our plastics operation up and going, get some steel refinement done. Let's go ahead and raise the priority on these to an 8. Priority 8, and then we can get some ceramic, or basically get some clay that we might want to turn into ceramic in a more convenient location than where we currently have stuff. We are making our refined iron down here. So what temperature is this coming out at? 80 degrees? I can live with that. Steel will be a little bit more. And that's a little bit tricky too, because we're starting to get to the point where we're waiting for this saltwater geyser to erupt. And yeah, we're probably not going to have as cool water as we would like in these areas. But we only need to operate this 20 times, basically. I think we'll be fine. We'll probably need to add a little bit more storage. We'll also need to take that water and ultimately put it up where we are setting up our aquatuner room. Speaking of which, we might also want to start working on digging out to that room, which is going to be probably just across here. I could dig up, which would be fine as well, but I want to start clearing this area anyways. Let's just give out a dig order for any of the digging dupes to go and complete. They can work on that while we work on the other things. Slicksters, are you cramped yet? You are cramped. So we also need to set up a second Slickster ranch somewhere. We kind of held off on finishing this. We want to set that up a little bit further away from our farms. Potentially we just want to break in through here. These are all reasonable. I guess it gets less reasonable over here. We could break in through here and set up our Slickster ranch here. Again, we need it kind of far away from our farms, ideally. A lot of these other areas are just a little bit too hot to work with conveniently. Yeah, this might still be our best bet. We'll just leave up this heat shielding. There's a possibility. We could also just start working in this area over here, just sort of mirror our whole setup that we have right here, but with a bunch of Slickster ranches. That might not be a bad idea. So let's also start working on that, I suppose. It's tricky because of the way we've laid this out, isn't it? Yeah, because I also have my air filtration system just sitting right there for the moment. And I grabbed 2 more spots right here by doing that. Yeah, where do I want to set this up? An actual Slickster ranch, not this sort of janky arrangement that we have right here. I guess for now, we can go ahead and say sweep this. And is there any others? So we have what? 1, 2, 3. How many critters are in here? 6 critters at the moment. But we also have another egg. So we're not going to be able to get the cramped status. Oh. There's 2 eggs here, isn't there? Okay. Sweep this as well. We'll get rid of both these eggs and then this should return to not being cramped. We just need to set back up where we're doing that. So let's say this is sweep only and critter eggs, long hair larva eggs. Perfect. Let's also set the priority on this to be really high, and they'll uncramp this area. That should work. No one has slime lung. Okay. Also, CO2 is pretty high concentration over here. This is almost full. We're about to disable this building. Okay, so we want just a little bit of plastic. It doesn't actually have to be that much. And we are going to go with something like... Actually, I guess we could just go ahead and dig out this as well. Give an order for that. I think we're going to say base, tile, sandstone is fine. And maybe I want to make this entire thing right here just a sandstone tile. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. What is the thermal properties here? Thermal conductivity 2. That's about the same as sandstone, right? Yeah, thermal conductivity 2.9. We still probably want a pipe going under here. So we're going to say tile, sandstone. We're going to tile this area across here. And then we can set up the rest of our stuff a little bit later. These will filter that into oxygen and get us the clay that we need. And I think we're also going to go ahead, body temperature. We're going to say utilities, temp shift plate, spend a little bit of our cooling right here. I guess we'll spend the rest of the cooling right here. Temp shift plate, ice. You have to slap one down just right here. Make this a priority 9. Make this a priority 9. Okay. Cool. Hey, Braden. Good to see you again. Probably a shorter stream today, just because I don't have quite as much time. Started the stream a little bit late. But I think we can make pretty good progress. We're so close to getting this base sustainable. Like, we are really just almost there. We also want to say iron to steel. We want... I guess we need 12 of these. That might break these pipes, depending upon what water we're getting in here. What is the temperature of this? 50 degrees? Yeah, around 50 degrees right now. I think we'll be just under. That's going to be close. Want that steel. Can get our aquatuner set up as soon as we get that. Ooh, another hatch to ranch. Yeah, wrangle this guy. Priority 8. Any hatches we can gather from the outside area are going to be good news for us as well. And I guess I also want to replace the floor in these areas. Tamed, groomed, happy, tamed, groomed. Have we cleared out these eggs from here? So these guys are no longer cramped. Okay, great. And then, but you don't have... Where'd the long hair larva eggs go then? You guys are no longer cramped, right? Wild, happy, tame, groomed, happy. Okay. Where'd the long hair larva eggs go then? Did they get dropped along the way? Are there going to be long hair larvas down here? There are. Okay. That's fine. We can get to these guys later, I guess. Also, we don't want any of this guy sitting around. Yeah, make this guy dead, please. Yeah, because we're going to have 3 more hatchlings hatch here. We're wrangling up another one over here. So yeah, we really want to expand out our hatch ranches at this point as well. Get more CO2 storage. I mean, maybe this is a convenient place to just stick our... Yeah, this is a pretty convenient place to stick our Slickster ranches, actually. That might not be a bad idea. It's kind of reasonably away from the farms. At least there's got some barrier going to it. Let's go ahead and say tile igneous rock over here, though, as well. Something like this. Priority 7. This can be priority 6. This can be a really high priority. This can be a really high priority. Okay. Okay. So, plastic, steel, turbine, that's the plan. We want then to say refinement. We're going to have an oil refinery. Make a set of copper, that's fine. This is just going to sit right here, I think. That's fine with me. And then we will say tile. Guess we want sandstone tile, something like right here, right here. We'll try that. And we are not actually starving, are you? Heat stroke, heat stroke, heat stroke. No slime lung. Should be fine. 4 bathrooms is still kind of rough on the dupes. But refinement, we want a polymer press. This can be made out of... I guess aluminum is really what we want to go for here. And we'll set up 2 of them right here. We're going to say plumbing, liquid pipe. I think we can go sandstone to try and exchange some heat with a lot of these areas. I think is the plan. And we'll just do something like this, actually, where we're going to go back around like this. Whoops. Plumbing, liquid bridge. Try this again. Sandstone, bridge down to here, and then liquid pipe. I think we'll just go with normal liquid pipe, because I don't want to refine any other metals. And we are going to go straight across here. And then we will bridge off to our individual, whoops, not insulated. We'll just use sandstone because it's fairly conductive. We're going to try and take sort of the crude oil that we get from here, which is relatively cooler, and use it to cool down some of this area. Is part of the hope. This can all be priority 7 work. I think we'll be fine on the amount of oil that we have in here. There's a decent amount. There's a little bit more over here. Yeah, I think we can work with that. All this debris on the ground is fine. It's actually relatively cool, so I'm willing to live with that. Building flooded, really. How much water is here? There's not a lot of water here. You're really flooded, huh? Over 9 kilograms of water floods you? Is this a joke? What? That's barely anything. It's a little drop of water here. Flows out, flows out, flows out. Not that it matters because we have this throttled pretty low, but... Still, building flooded, huh? There's less than a kilogram of water here. It's literally grams. It's grams of water that you're complaining about right now. Maybe there is polluted water in this area that's stacking on top of it. Not that I can see. Alright, well, we can give a mop order and unflood this thing pretty easily. Seems like a plan. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. Fair enough. Okay. Doing fine on food. We have our little oxygen waypoint over here, which is looking fine. We're generating a little bit of clay for ourselves, just in case later on we want to do some ceramic type work. And this is all just grams of stuff, so I don't really care. What are you doing, Ren? You're idle. Okay, well, let's have you just dig yourself out. Can you dig? You can dig both of these, right? And now you can get down. Okay, you can go do whatever you want, Ren. You're free. So yeah, we're gonna set up first a. I think we're just still gonna stick with igneous rock. We're gonna set up a little thermal aquatuner chamber, basically. This is gonna be yay big, and have thermal aquatuner, a little water inlet, so we can fill this area up. I guess we don't want to finish this off just yet. We'll instead dig out like so. Then we can just compress all the gases up to here as we make this thing. Right, we'll go in and we'll build this last part. We'll set up some ladders up here. We're basically going to just flood this area and set up all of our steam generation area and so on and so forth. And then we can later go in and set up the steam turbine on top of that and work with that. But we can get our cooling going sooner, right? It's really just a matter of how quickly we get the steel going for this. This is priority 8. It probably needs a lot of things hauled to it. We need the refined carbon from all the way over here. We need just a lot of things. In fact, while we're at the topic, let's go ahead and say base, storage bin, sandstone. Just set one up right here. That way we can have a place to drop off all the stuff that we know we're going to need. And they have mopped this up. This is now working again. Great. Good to hear. We want to keep these ethanol distilleries operating as much as possible because ultimately our long-term oxygen solution is going to be this massive amount of polluted dirt. That's going to be what really gets us to where we need to be in the late game. Because then we don't need to use any water effectively, or just a very, very small amount of water to get all of our oxygen. I say fair enough a lot? It's fair enough. What did you expect me to say in response to that? Okay. Let's go ahead and... So these guys are not cramped, right? Idle, tamed, groomed, happy. These are happy dudes. Happy dudes. Okay. We kind of want to work on more hatch ranches. We can go through this area. This is all still cold enough for us to work with. I think we're basically going to say ladder, sandstone's fine. Build another ladder up to here and just repeat the process again and again and again. 5, 6, across like this. And say base, tile, sandstone's fine. Sandstone all the way across the top like so. And then we're going to say dig out this area. Also say tile, sandstone, sandstone up all of this, if you would be so kind. And they can get to that at their leisure. Alright, so we've dug out pretty much this entire area over here. I think maybe we want to cancel this for the moment, so we can... no, I think we're just going to make it this high. I think we're fine with that being the height of this area. Let's go ahead and set up a ladder. What's common around here? Igneous rock is fine. Actually, do we have granite around here? We have granite as well. Granite ladder sounds fine to me. Get a little bit less of a decor malice. Let's go ahead and dig out like so, and then we're going to be able to set up our steam turbine right here, is the plan. Meemaw, are you actually starving? What happened here? No, it doesn't look like it. Pop eardrums is becoming a more common thing. Is it because they have to work in this area and the CO2 concentration is just built up too much? We could set up some more carbon skimmers. Also, yeah, see, this area unfortunately has this polluted dirt in it, and that is fouling up the system and preventing these carbon skimmers from operating. And that's because we've allowed our polluted dirt storage to get full. What's the oxygen like in our base? We're fairly well oxygenated, but we could be doing better. The polluted dirt's going to be fairly hot, so I don't want to stick it next to my farms, but I do want to start storing that polluted dirt somewhere away from our CO2 consumption, because that's kind of causing this to... We're causing half of our carbon skimmers to break down because of polluted oxygen off-gassing from these stacks of polluted dirt that we have all lying around here. Let's go ahead and fix that as well. And how do we want to fix that is a good question. I kind of just want to slap it down over here. I mean, I guess that makes this filter pretty bad, or at least very, very poorly positioned. The other alternative is that we slap down the polluted dirt outside of our base and set up some sort of mobile oxygen over there, but that means more hauling to get to there. I kind of just want to keep the oxygen in my base at the moment. Options, options, options. I guess what we can do for now is just increase the storage here. 5, yeah, sure. 10,000 kilograms. Copy settings across here. Load this all up with more polluted dirt, please. It's more efficient if you spread it out across more storage bins. You'll get more off-gassing, but yeah, I don't care too much about the efficiency at the moment. I care about getting all these skimmers back online, getting the CO2 reduced in our base a little bit more, because we don't quite have our Slickster Ranch up and running yet. Right, this is not where it needs to be at the moment. So we're going to wait a little bit on that. We might set up a little bit of plastics operation right underneath our Slickster Ranch as well. That wouldn't be that terrible of an idea. And what is going on here? We're blocked because we haven't completed the rest of this. Sensible. Let's go ahead and increase the priority on this. And I guess let's also just go ahead and say ventilation, gas vent, copper's fine, gas pipe, sandstone is fine. Let's just move it up 1 to try and force down a little bit more of this hydrogen. It's kind of going against the grain, but I think this is a little bit better. And it's not too much more distance that we're traveling over here. So let's just do that. Seems like a plan to me. Yeah, this area is oxygenated up pretty nicely. The advantage of polluted dirt. We need, what is it? To sustain like 70 duplicates. We're going to need a huge amount of polluted dirt. I'm talking like a couple thousand tons of polluted dirt. We're not quite there at a couple thousand tons yet. We're getting up there. 118.5 tons is a lot. Like, that's going to sustain... We've probably got a good dozen dupes breathing off of that, but... Need more for our ultimate 70 dupe base. Spend a little bit more cooling on these areas. Do I need to... I might want to spend some cooling back over here again. The farms look fine for now. Let's... These areas are fairly hot. I kind of want to keep them a little bit cooler. Yeah, second temp shift plate. Where do we want to spend it? I don't think we can go too wrong just putting it down here. Cool off our water supply a little bit. Priority 9. Priority 9. Yeah, long-term oxygen goal is a bunch of polluted dirt, and until then we want to electrolyze a bunch of water. Just to kind of bridge us to that point. It's going to take running these ethanol distilleries a long time. Once we have the cooling solution all up and going, though, I think we're actually interested in domesticating a lot more trees. That we'll have a little bit more room to work with. As we shift our food sources away from mealwood, we're going to... Oh, is this all a little bit too hot? We might need to spend some cooling here as well. As we shift more and more of our food production to ranching, we're going to free up spots for trees in these mealwood areas, and we're going to domesticate more mealwood, or domesticate more trees, probably set up just a pip ranch for generating acorns so that we can domesticate more trees and generate a lot more polluted dirt a lot more quickly in that way. So what's the priority in these? Priority 7? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so a lot of this is going to become tree farms to feed a large batch of ethanol distillers. That's also going to get us more power to work with, which will be nice. Also, I guess we are dumping like oxygen and stuff in here every time this leaks, which is not great either. I mean, we could dump it all the way down here pretty easily. That might actually be better. Just link it up to here. I don't mind that as a solution either. Let's go ahead and say ventilation. It's going to back up, isn't though? Because this is constantly going to be CO2 going through here. So we wouldn't have an answer for the oxygen. We could set up a second mechanical filter, like right here, to filter out the oxygen and put it somewhere in our base. That might be, I don't know. I want to keep these carbon skimmers online, though, because we're starting to get popped eardrums, which is going to be a major stress debuff for our dupes going forward. I want these online. Where to put our stuff is the question. Let's redirect this a little bit. Let's go ahead and say ventilation, gas vent, aluminum ore is fine. We're going to slap a gas vent down right here, and we're going to say gas pipe, igneous rock is fine. Across here. We're actually going to dump out into here, just so that we are getting a little bit better progress on getting these carbon skimmers up and going. And this I'm going to set to priority 8, I believe. That is the plan, and deconstruct this at priority 7. Slightly better management of these carbon skimmers. Because the issue is that now that we have a lot of oxygen sort of diffusing up from our electrolyzer room down to the southwest, it's oxygenating this area. And before we had just a bunch of CO2 in here, and so as we were separating things out, we were dumping a bunch of CO2 into this room. Now we're basically dumping oxygen into this room whenever we're not picking up natural gas, and that's creating some issues for us in terms of this system. Yeah, see, like this is actually mostly oxygen that's going through here. Okay. Let's bump this up to priority 8. Bump this up to priority 9. Something along those lines. Yeah, I want this all to be CO2. I want all these carbon skimmers running. I want to be deleting all the CO2 that I'm getting from this stuff. Otherwise, life becomes a pain. Deconstruct this. And now it will flow out to this bridge, and then from the bridge to this gas vent. And this will kind of push out a lot of the CO2 from this area and allow us to oxygenate a little bit more. Alright, so how are we coming along down here? In this, I want to put... We'll just leave our refined metal on the ground here. We don't need to move that. We need... What is it? Industrial ingredients? No. We need organic? No. Do we have lime at all as things stand right now? We do not. It'll be under consumable ore, though. So we're in the process of breaking stuff with this rock crusher that'll produce the lime for us. Okay, so we want consumable ore, lime, priority 8. We want refined carbon, and that's basically it, because the iron is already being produced here. So I think we're good on that front. And that'll supply us the materials we need for our steel production. Hurry that up just a little bit. This area looks fine. One other thing I want to do is I want to say automation. I'm just going to go with an Atmos sensor. Lead. We're going to slap one down here, one down here. Automation wire. And we're going to hook up these. That way, instead of disabling and enabling these buildings when they start to overheat, I can just use this automation. We also want to say plumbing, bottle emptier, sandstone's fine. I'm going to set one of these up here so that we can kind of flood this area a little bit, just with like one thing of water, so that we get better heat transfer from this area from the polymer presses. We don't have to run the polymer presses for a very long time. This is just sort of a temporary setup where we have some relatively cool oil. But once we get the cooling going, then we can start creating like a more permanent cooling solution that will handle our entire system there. This area is getting just a little bit too hot. This bathroom more or less is heated up, and so it's just a little bit hotter than we want it to be. Right, we have this hot polluted water just exposed in this pipe right here. So I kind of want to do a couple things here. One, I'd like to cool down this water that we have in the system, because it's duplicating itself, basically. The water that comes into the lavatory is the water that we get out, because the water that we get out is twice as much water as before. We would like to cool down the bathroom, actually. Yeah, I want to cool down this area. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to stick the temp shift plate way in the back here and let the water drip out. And we'll end up losing a little bit of water down to this area over here, but that's fine with me. We'll cool down this entire area and then hopefully get... what happened here? I lost my thing. We'll cool down this whole area, get the bathrooms a little bit colder, and then hopefully that will cool down these plants a little bit more effectively. But I want to just stick the water on the plants because I don't think that will get as much heat transfer to the thing that actually matters, which is this cooling down this bathroom loop that we have. Also, yeah, this is built in the right place. Okay, cool. Yeah, getting low on food if we just don't do anything about that heat issue. Also, what priority did I set this to? Okay, priority 9, that's fine. We are we cramped over here? 2 out of 3 critters, 5 out of 5. These are cramped now. Set this down to 4. What do we have here? 4 out of 20 critters? Sure, so we can stick a couple more here. We need to expand out these ranches even more. And we need to expand out these slickster ranches soon. But I want to get our cooling up as well. A lot of things that are high priority right now. A lot of things that are high priority right now. Yeah, we don't want these to get cramped. That's like pretty killer for what we're trying to do. All right, new dupe. What do we got? We have another Drecklet. I think I'll pass on that. We already have two kind of worming their way around the base. And I think that's going to be enough to start up a farm. A third is not as... Right, getting the second Drecklet would double the speed at which we get our farms up. Here we'd only be increasing it by 50%. And I think we're taking Trivaldo here. He's got +6 strength and diver's lungs, which are all pretty good. Joshua's fine, Turner's fine. Like, these guys aren't bad. Small bladder is actually a pretty positive trait. Diver's lungs is a little bit better than small bladder, but small bladder's also a positive trait because it means that they go to the bathroom twice as often, which means they generate more water for themselves more often, right? It basically means, like, diver's lungs is consume 25% less oxygen. Small bladder is generate kind of 10% of the resources needed to make your oxygen. So I think we're going Trivaldo. Let me first check. I don't have a Trivaldo 2, do I? Let's sort you guys by name. It's too much work otherwise. No, he will be Trivaldo number 2. All right. Welcome aboard, Trivaldo. And right off the bat, let's go ahead and rename you. Don't take this as a slight, but you came here second, so you're a little bit late to the party. You're going to be Trivaldo number 2. The other guy gets the original Trivaldo tag. And schedule-wise, where are we putting you? Where are we putting the second Trivaldo? Also, we never moved... What was it? Rowan down? We kind of want to move Rowan down. We kind of want to shuffle everybody down a little bit here. But I guess now we're just actually sticking Trivaldo in the small bladder group. We could consolidate the small bladder groups. That might be a little bit better of a solution. I think we're moving Trivaldo down here. Trivaldo number 2. Welcome to the team. Alright. Short on food, because we kind of want to get all these farms back online. We have a lot of them offline, actually. This is not what we want. And we're getting some offline down here. So maybe we need to spend our cooling just a little bit differently. Also, where else do we have room for farms is a good question. We could disrupt some of these arbitrary branches and plop a couple more farms down. We could also start working on expanding out a little bit more, because we expanded down here, basically. I kind of just want to start killing off some sage hatches and getting our food that way. Either that or just grabbing eggs that we have here, like sage hatch eggs, and crack them open and get some omelets. And start getting some food from our ranches. Maybe it's a little bit too early to start doing that. How many hours do I have in the game? About 800. One moment. There is someone at my door. I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. They got a package, which I wasn't expecting, but hey, package. Alright, let's unpause for a second. Also, one other thing I just thought of. We should go ahead and grab this extra muck root that we have over here. That wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Priority 8 on all this stuff seems reasonable. Let's go and grab some muck root. Support our population a little bit more. We have a big bumper crop coming in, so I'm not too worried about the food situation. We are kind of right on the line, though, and I definitely want to get this temp shift plate built. That way we can cool down this area and get ourselves some nice cooling for these farms. Not have so much issue with body temperature. I guess because we're pumping out here now, we're immediately creating some temperature problems for these farms. Yeah, we really need to get our cooling solution online quickly. This is becoming a bad look for us. So I guess this polluted dirt was pretty hot, so maybe we didn't want to put it all the way back here. Did someone drop ice, or did the ice from this just melt? Either way, should help cool down this area a little bit. Okay. Have we made much progress at all over here? Not really. We need to finish up this so we can filter out more hydrogen, but now that we've kind of compressed all the hydrogen away from here, which is going to be a little bit awkward, we're going to need to run on that a little bit more than we would have liked. Yeah, finish up this temp shift plate, get this to melt, and then we will mop up the area after we have cooled this all off a little bit. And we also just need to start working on this area as well. Get another hatch ranch up and going, because how close are we to having these hatch? Fairly close, about 5 cycles away. Okay. Also, there's a long hair slickster over here, right? These eggs are all... okay. Cool. Yeah. Dig order... here, here, here. We'll leave this one up for now. Something like this. Finish up this temp shift plate, please, so we can get all the rest of these farms online. Cool water spreads out across here. I guess this tile is igneous rock rather than granite, so we're not quite getting as much heat transfer as we would like. And then let's give a mop order priority 9 right here. There we go. That should help cool down these areas a little bit. We probably need to spend a little bit more cooling on getting these farms all sorted out. We spent some cooling right up here, but not quite enough. Let's go ahead and actually stick it right on top of these farms. Utilities, temp shift plate, ice. Slap another one of these bad boys down right here, priority 9. Okay. Need to expand out our food. Ooh, who's idle? Need to expand out our food. Need to keep up with the population. Starvation's probably the biggest risk at the moment. Which means we want our cooling solution online, and also means that we want to expand out our ranches. Both would be nice. Building flooded. Really? Interesting. Did we successfully cool down this area? This is all a bit under 30 now, and over here we're around 20. Okay, it's a little bit better. These are becoming backed up now. Not quite what we want. Alright, mop priority 8. All of this. Make sure the bathrooms stay online. Also, we are having air pressure issues because we still have the polluted dirt in these areas, and it needs to be moved over here. We're still not having our carbon skimmers operate as much as we want. which is a little bit problematic. I guess we also say priority 8 on this stuff. Helps with our oxygen situation as well. And we're mopping all this up because we actually aren't... We're starting to back up with some of our oxygen in these areas. Not in a huge way, but it's getting there. And once that happens, we're in a pretty bad shape for oxygen as well. Because we're really relying on what we're getting from our electrolysis chamber at this point. And we need more cooling in this area. We just need more cooling. We really want to get this cooling system up and running. Okay, what do I have left? I have enough ice. Utilities... Temp shift plate, ice, stick another one down right here. Ugh, we want this aquatuner, we want the steel aquatuner up and running really badly. This has broken. Yeah, so it looks like we have temperature issues if we try to make steel, that the coolant is not quite cold enough. Makes sense. We can just repair this pipe a bunch of times. I'll live with that. We don't have enough water storage anyways to store all of it from the steel. Yeah, we'd need to pre-cool the water a little bit to be able to run it through this metal refinery. But we don't really have another great option. I mean, we could run like oil through there, which would have a higher transition point, but I think it's actually easier to just let this pipe break and transfer the heat to these surroundings. Just vent out the water effectively. So we'll stick with that. Just need enough steel to make our aquatuner. Just need 12 orders of it and we're good to go. Once we have that, we're in a pretty good situation. This needs to be completed before we can get any of this done. This is disabled by automation grid. Perfect. And we're going to say priority 9 on all of this stuff. Not exactly sure why this small amount of water is able to flood the water sieve. Normally you need a lot more. Normally this needs to be like 50 kilograms to flood these buildings, but right now it's struggling. Alright, so these all should be relatively cool now. In fact, are you too cold? Yeah, internal temperature is lower than it needs to be. We're going to go ahead and give another mop order, priority 8, all in this area, and mop priority 8 in this area. And mop priority 8 in this area. This is all a lot cooler now, and that should help a lot, I think, with keeping these mealwood at the appropriate temperature. All the ones on this side have started growing again. We'll slowly start reaching out to this side, because the source of heat is just the bathrooms, effectively. Also, I need to make sure that we can get by with one water sieve. I'm pretty sure we can. I think that even at the highest population, we're going to be fine with just one water sieve to supply the bathroom filtration needs. These are all out of lumber. Yep. Low on all sorts of resources. We've pumped out pretty much all the oxygen here, which is good to see. Once this room becomes almost entirely natural gas, and we'll have a little bit less of a heat issue from gases pumping out here, which will be helpful. We also need to mop priority 8 these areas. Okay. Can we make any more progress on this operation up here? Or do we just need to start working a little bit more on ranching? Oh. I think getting more ranching up is important. Let's go ahead and just say priority 8 on all this stuff. And start our dig orders for the rest of this stuff as well. Something just like this. And this can all be priority 6. This will be basically our next ranch. Something along those lines. Get up our next hatch ranch, and we also need to consider... They're not cramped yet, but they're very close to cramped. We have 6 critters in here plus 2 eggs, so as soon as they... Right, is there a second egg in here? There's the 1 egg here, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we only have that. This is the full 96 tiles, right? This is the full 96 tiles. We're going to need to set up another Slickster ranch. We need to set it up further away from our farms, because already this area that we cooled down is getting hotter because of this proximity to this area, which is not what we want to see. We could start... What's this temperature? This temperature is bad. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but we need an area that is cool enough for us to work in, but hot so that we get fewer long hair larva eggs and grow our Slickster ranch faster. And we also want it far away from our farms, but we also want it in the southern part of our base. That way it's a lot easier to clear out a lot of the thermal mass from the area. Maybe we end up right over here. Maybe. I want to mop this up. Slickster ranches. Where do I set up Slickster ranches? I kind of want to just set them up right over here. Like, I think maybe we... I don't want to get rid of this arrangement, though. I want to have the gas pump still filtering out the CO2. I want to have that be able to go, but... Yeah, maybe we just dig out this area. We say this is the next ranch area right up here. And we're going to basically say deconstruct this and then dig out an area like this. We can set up our first sort of normal-ish Slickster ranch right here. And it will go down... We kind of want to put the Slicksters at the bottom of the ranch too, which is going to be inconvenient for the ranchers the way things are currently set up. So maybe we don't change this for now, and instead we want to dig out, say, this area. I don't want to expose this to hot stuff either, though. Choices, choices, choices. I keep looking back at this area, but this is definitely not where I want to put it long term. I definitely want another Slickster ranch. And not a horizontal one like this. I want a vertical one. That way we can just have all the oil pull at the bottom very easily and have the ranchers access the Slicksters very easily. Because right now, you know, if the rancher gets to this grooming station and this Slickster wants to be groomed, they have to run all the way over here to get there. Also, why is that Slickster wild? Oh, because some of these are going to be still wild. This guy's still wild. Just because I put in some fresh wild Slicksters in here. That's what we spent one of our skips on. Also, just this area down here is kind of weird because of this polluted oxygen vent, which interferes with the CO2 falling. We want it like bottom right-hand corner of our base, ideally. Right, like right over here, really, I think is what we're going to end up settling with, even though it's close to these farms, and that isn't good. Well, let's set it up right here, and we can expand this area to be new farms if we need to, and we can set up our Slickster ranching right here, I think is the plan. And we'll have to cool down this area a little bit probably, but that should be fine. So, Slickster ranching area, something like this. Base, ladder, what do we have? What's around here? Granite, sure, granite ladder, granite, and then we go down just like this. And we'll dig out across in these areas. Something like this, we'll say priority 7. I guess if we want, we could set up more Sixter ranches right over here in this little area if we choose to, or we could make it farms. Either one. But let's set up a new Slickster ranch area. Slicksters are the better form of ranching for us, because that oil will mean more water, which means we can support trees, which means we actually just have a virtuous loop with our ethanol distilleries, which seems fairly important. What is this set to? Activate. Yeah, turn this off at like 50. And lower threshold at like 10, something like that. We'll primarily use this for now, I think is the plan. Someone actually starving? Ada. Are you starving? Not really. Okay. These are almost all cool now. This one's a little bit hotter than I would like. But we can live with that. We have 26.5 more cycles of this. Yeah, let's get this online again as well. Yeah, and let's just start at the top for all this. Utilities, temp shift plate. This is going to be a lot of mopping. Let's start a little bit further down. Let's go right. Let's go right here. Priority 9 to try and cool down these farms. And we can terraform more area, but that's also just a lot of labor. Oh, and base, pneumatic door. We're going to need to do some work right here. There's already a pneumatic door here. That's fine. Priority 8 on this is fine. You can escape and everything here, right? Yeah, these hatches are going to be annoying. We'll need to wrangle them up and put them back down there. C'est la vie. Okay. Maybe we actually put a lower priority on this plastics and yeah, let's just get our steel. I think we have oxygen in this area. I think let's just set up like a very rudimentary airlock here and dig out and get our windows from the gravitas center and set up our aquatuner. Let's start working on setting up our aquatuner room. That'll provide the cooling for this entire base. We'll set up like a cooling loop, and then we'll be a lot better off in terms of food as well, because we'll be keeping all of our farms online really easily. I kind of like that idea. It's been a lot faster getting the oxygen in this area than it has been creating the steel down here, because we're gonna need we don't have coolant that's cold enough to run a steel operation. So we're kind of in a weird spot there. Also, if we just like run out of... Is this pumping? Pipe blocked. Why is your pipe blocked? You go up to here. Desalinator requires emptying. Okay. Also, let's go ahead and fix that. Priority 9 on that bad boy. Yeah, let's get up to the gravitas center. I think that's the play. We don't need the plastic until we set up the steam turbine. Let's go ahead and say base, manual airlock, copper. We're just going to set this up. What's the quickest way to get up here? Mafic rock. There's some regolith in here. Also, I guess we want to make one of these tiles out of, what is it, obsidian? What is your hardness? Nearly impenetrable. That's what will keep out the shovels. I don't want them getting into my base somehow. Okay, base. Oh, but wait. Okay, copper counts as nearly impenetrable. Is that right? No, hardness firm. I was clicking on the wrong thing. A manual airlock made out of metal still counts, though, right? I don't need a steel manual airlock to make this work, I don't think. Well, I'm not gonna spend steel on it anyway, so let's go ahead and do this. And we'll say base, tile, obsidian, like so. Let's just priority 9 this. And then we'll have some of our expert diggers kind of just go out here and start working. How can I get up there? What's the quickest way? Dig like so. Just like across here. Does this get me through the regolith? Fine. This is regolith. So there's like little parts we need to try and avoid if possible. I guess it doesn't matter if we do this one. It's when we're trying to stand on regolith that it becomes an issue. And we'll just get up like so. Run a dupe up here. I don't think they'll get hypothermia because they'll be in vacuum basically the entire time. Get to those steel windows, deconstruct those steel windows, bring the steel back down, make our aquatuner. Yeah. Maybe that's the faster way to do this. Digging our way up right through here. Priority 7 on this digging. Something like that. Let's give that a shot. Okay. We haven't done all the non-space research because it just costs so much water to do it. Like, we have a lot of stuff yet to do. It just takes too much water for a lot of stuff that doesn't help our base immediately. And we just don't have the water resources really to spare. I mean, we have this area full, which is nice, but we don't have much of anything else going on in terms of water. Building broken liquid pipe. Yeah. That's fine. Long commutes. Okay, so we'll set up this. It'll just basically be... let's cancel these for now, actually, until this gets built. I think is the plan. We'll probably leak some hydrogen out of here. That won't be the biggest problem in the world. I think we can live with it. Once we get this set up, we'll be forcing out a lot of the hydrogen down back to here, I think, which should be helpful. I don't know. We probably should have waited on oxygenating this area too much before we did this. I guess, yeah. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Let's just let it run. Let's just let it run. Temperature plate priority 9. Cool. They're going to build this. These slicksters are still happy. Great. Yeah, don't get yourself trapped somehow, Ren. That's the only thing I'm really worried about here for you. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait on the plastics. We will need to finish up the plastics relatively quickly after we've gotten this done. Right, because the problem otherwise is that we will overheat our area. Scalding. This area is hot enough to scald you? It is. Awkward. Wow, and you have to run through a decent amount of it too. This really. I guess this sand is. This isn't leaking, is it? No. How did this area get hot? I mean, this area is cool. Oh, there's like a little flecks of obsidian from this thing that spawned outside. Yeah. Okay. So that's how that area got hot. Little unfortunate. Oy. And you have soggy feet, which is also why you're getting scalded so quickly in this area. What can we do to fix that? We could just set up a few like dirt temp shift plates, just a couple. Yeah. Temp shift plate. Starting, I guess, all the way over here. There's a decent amount of thermal mass in this area, though. That is a little bit worrisome. Okay. Let's get some temp shift plates up here. Where's my dirt? Dirt. Good old reliable dirt. Just across like this. And we can replace this with like mafic rock temp shift plates later. We can in fact haul down mafic rock and whatnot that as we build it and distribute it in our base and get a little bit of work done that way. Say priority 8. Priority 7 this for the moment. How badly hurt are you guys already? You're already taking damage. Okay. Hide the pain, Harold. Hide the pain. Head on down here, and Trivaldo is also starting to take damage. Yeah, move them both down here. Work on these areas first. Also, you have heat stroke, so... Is that correct? Food poisoning. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so temperature is a little bit out of whack in this area. I got fooled because I didn't notice this area was... Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. We can live with it. How much damage did you guys take? You're still scalding? Oh, wow. You take damage all through here, huh? Oh, that's rough. That is actually really rough. Okay, well, maybe that kills our plan to get there quickly. I mean, we can... Once we get a little bit of... there's a good amount of sand here on the ground. It's all relatively hot. We haven't really insulated this area because I don't want to do that work if I don't have to. There is, I guess, an alternative route to get up to here. That involves doing a lot of ladder work, though, which would be obnoxious. Oh, okay. What are we doing? On the plus side, it is closer to oxygen. Alright, cancel this. Cancel this. I've changed my mind. Cancel this. I don't want to go through the burn phase again. Let's do this, and we will dig out through here. It means going through the obsidian. It means going through a lot of stuff I don't want to go through, but temperature-wise, we are fine throughout all this area. So it actually will be faster, I think, over time. Dig. 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 This is the avoid ladders plan that we have going here. And then we're going to have to build a ladder just to get through this chunk right here, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Base, ladder. I guess we'll end up making this out of obsidian. It's fine, because that's just what's going to be close by. Obsidian ladder up through here. This is mafic rock. There's a little bit of regolith in some of these areas, which will be annoying. Yeah, and I think plan will be just to try and do this. Well, actually, let's just snake our way up the entire way. Yeah, let's just do a snake the entire way. Boom, boom, boom. We'll encounter some regolith and it'll cause issues at certain points, but we'll get around it, I think. Okay. Back on track, getting to the gravitas center is the plan. And then we'll just say, like, deconstruct this, dig out this. I don't think they'll be able to deconstruct from here, but we'll build a few ladders every once in a while to support the operation. Oh, and priority 7 on all of this, please. Okay. New plan for getting to Gravitas Center. Oh. Yeah, fire poles are not a bad idea to improve our speed of getting up and down some areas. Because I know, like, just getting out to this area here is a little bit of a hassle. But I don't know, I also just want to get done a lot of stuff that's just close to our base, where the fire poles wouldn't really have too much of an impact yet. No one's actually starving, right? Ari is about to say that they can find food. Yeah, okay. Because we have food. They can eat. This area is about to fill up again. So what did we set our irrigation to last time? This is at 1100 grams per second. Why are we... Really? So we're sending in 1100 grams per... How is this empty pipe? There's water literally right here. Okay, it's going in. That's fine. I caught it at a weird time. I thought my electrolyzers up top were not online. Okay. So we cool down all of this area. Good, 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 good. And now we're going to have to go through and mop all this up. Too much liquid here. I can live with that. These are still halted due to body temperature because the water doesn't have thermal contact with this one, and the water by the time it gets here is just a little bit too warm to make a difference for this one. I'll live with that. What I don't want is this happening. Utilities, temp shift plate. We don't have the ice yet. My mistake. Okay, let's pick up all this polluted dirt. Let's get it out of here. That way we can stop oxygenating our carbon skimmer area. Also, come to think of it, what are we... We're getting little packets of oxygen. We've mostly sorted this area out. The heat is a little bit much, though. Yeah, they're not submerged in CO2, so we're getting some little issues there. It's causing air pressure issues through the base. I suppose an alternative is we just set up another carbon skimmer loop somewhere to get the air pressure down. That seems like a lower priority than the rest of this, though. Like, not something I particularly want to work on at the moment. No one's about to build themselves into a wall, right? You are outside of stable at the moment. You are trapped in a door. Okay. Alright, well, we have to pay our cooling bill for these trees. Temp shift plate, ice. Set this bad boy up right here. Party 9. Why is this offline? Oh, because there's a little bit of natural gas that's causing pressure issues. That causes morale issues. When this plant dies, this area becomes a mess hall as opposed to a great hall, which is a little obnoxious. We're making decent progress over here, actually. Even though the Subsidian is basically the hardest thing in the game to cut through. Also, while we're at it, how about we just go and grab some more mealwood? Go and just priority 7 this as well. A little bit more food for the base. Did we go and grab the mealwood down here? Not mealwood, muckroot? Yeah, kinda. So grab that muckroot. Looks good. Let's continue our mop-up orders in these areas. Okay. Yeah, we might... we need more ranches. We need these guys up and running. We need our future food solution done. Okay. Get the steel, get the plastic, get the food, get the ranches. Set up our steam turbine. Yeah, so this is just immediately breaking. Like we're repairing it, but it's just not quite getting there. 56. Yeah, 300 kilograms of water at 106 degrees Celsius is the issue. I mean, I guess we could pre-cool the water. I don't know. Maybe the answer is we just abandon this metal refinery idea because it just takes too long to replace this metal pipe again, or not metal pipe. Replace the pipe repeatedly. Where is another colder source of coolant, though? I mean, ultimately, I guess it's just using oil. That's not quite what I want to do. Because the oil will increase in temperature by a lot, because it just has less specific heat capacity than the water. And so it will not boil like the water is, but it won't really be a conducive environment for our duplicants. Not the healthiest of places to be around that stored stuff. What else could we use, though, as coolant? I mean, I guess we could set up a metal refinery just, like, right here, where we have our ice makers, and take the water that's here. We can cool down this water with temp shift plates. That is an alternative. We need to set up a pump up here, but this is kind of a more controlled area. Yeah, because this steel production is going too slow anyways if we do it this way. I guess another alternative is, what is this temperature at right here? We're getting it at 50 degrees. Is there anything colder we can drop on it? Not really. Yeah, not really. Yeah, I guess the answer is to do some work up here with the metal refinery, which is a little obnoxious. Okay, let's set this down to 0. Let them keep repairing this because I don't mind spending igneous rock, but we're going to set up another metal refinery over here where we're going to set up our steel. So drop this and drop this. This is so close to our base still. Deconstruct, deconstruct. Do that, set up another metal refinery. Metal refineries are how high? 3 high? No, they're 4 high, right? So I actually can't even fit one right there. I need to... I'm not crazy, right? If I go to refinement, metal refineries are 4 high. They look 3 high, but they're actually 4 high. Yeah, this is 4 high. Okay, let's set it up right here. It's an awkward location. Refinement. Metal refinery. Yeah, I guess we just set it up right here. Make this out of igneous rock, that's fine. We will say power, heavy watt joint plate. I guess it doesn't matter. We don't really even need a door here. We can just deconstruct this. And I guess we'll leave this door where it is because we don't care. And we're going to say power, heavy watt, wire, aluminum's fine. We will connect up just across here, basically. And then we're going to say plumbing, liquid pipe, this is already at 50. Yeah, we need to cool down this stuff, I think, is the solution. So we're going to say plumbing, liquid pump. We'll run... You'll just set up a liquid pump right here. We're going to say liquid pipe. Igneous rock is fine. Hook this up across here and then dump out. I guess just right here is fine. Liquid vent, aluminum ore, boom. And this one will be where we do our steel runs, I suppose. This area is still pretty hot. And we'll just set up like ice temp shift plate in this area and spend a lot of our cooling budget on that. I think that's the plan. Power, heavy watt wire, aluminum needs to go down to here. Let's just do this. And priority 7 on all these buildings. I wonder how much we actually get out of this before it breaks completely. Like, it'll release basically a lot of this water as steam, but it won't. The pipe will still be accepting steam for a while. If we could just vent directly the steam from the Ooh, why are you suffocating? Ren, did you trap yourself? You trapped yourself, didn't you, Ren? Yep, you trapped yourself. That happens, buddy. How about we go ahead and say this is priority 9 for you to do? And let's move you off of that, shall we? Yeah, dig out this stuff. Your breath is at 41%. Let's slow this down so I can make sure you don't actually die. Dig. Dig. What are you at? 37? Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. You going to dig out the rest of this, Ren? Perfect. 30%, and then you run off. Okay. And I think you're fine getting to the oxygen in time. Alright, false alarm, guys. Ren dropped some sand on top of himself. Okay. So we have this. I think this will work. We'll need to spend some cooling on this area, but I think it'll work. Which is going to be annoying. It's actually going to be really annoying. I need my cooling for so many other things. I really just need... I need everything up and running. We need cooling so we can get the steel so we can get cooling. If we could get to here, that'd be a lot easier. Just grab the windows. Well, 4 windows, each one 400 kilograms. That'll get us enough for the aquatuner. We're definitely not going to use ice fans. Ice fans are just way too labor intensive. Temp shift plate is the way where we're going with all that stuff. And let's also dig out this. Priority 8. Yeah. Yeah, we can't build a temp shift plate out of regolith, I believe, but I think we can build one out of mafic rock and granite and stuff that we find up there. Mainly mafic rock, because otherwise we'll have to distinguish what granite we want to make it out of. So this is 300 kilograms. I want to see what happens when they replace this next. Liquid pipe awaiting 10 kilograms to repair. Sure. What is Emptera? Sorry, I think I saw your message really late. But what is an Emptera map? I assume it's like one of these custom maps that they've made. Like, Helicone or whatever. Vacuum and close the water with insulated tiles, insulated pipe, and ice fans. Oh, like this area? I think we're just going to drop a bunch of temp shift plates in this area and go that way. Just cool this area down to... I mean, even the water that we have right here is probably enough, come to think of it. Let me very quickly check. How much does the temperature increase when you do a batch of steel using water? Steel, water. Okay, it is a 56-degree increase. So we need to cool it down a little bit more. Each steel operation will be 56-degree increase in the water, and then we'll need to cool that back down. It'll be 400 kilograms that we... So, like, every batch of steel is going to require... We're going to need some water to set this thing up, right? We're going to need some cooling devoted to this to set it up in the first place, and then on top of that, we're going to need cooling every time we do a batch of steel, it looks like. There has to be an easier way. I mean, I guess oil, but that's still just not where we want to be. I could just get the refined iron just through the rock crusher. The steel, though, is going to require this metal refinery. And we do not have the system yet to do that. So we're just going to need to spend a bunch of our heat budget on cooling this area down. That way we can get the steel. And I guess the alternative is just we continue repairing this. Let's have it do all the iron first, and then we can... Once that has all the iron done, then I'll start considering whether or not we want to run more steel through it. Because I don't think we can set a valve immediately after it leaves the... I mean, I guess that is one answer. We could try and set up a valve immediately after it leaves the metal refinery. Because it is right here on the edge. Also, do we have anything in here? We don't. Let's... I don't think that works, though. Because it's this pipe breaking. Yeah, it's not quite enough, is it? We could set up our ice temp shift plate, like, right here. We would deconstruct this. We'd set up a little lip here. We would then cool down this area and then try and keep that pipe. Nah, that isn't going to change anything because the water's still just going to come out at a high enough temperature. It's not going to matter. So we need to send the water in at... I mean, I guess actually the answer is we use polluted water, right? What temperature do we have this polluted water at? 54 degrees. Yeah, we could do that. Actually, come to think of it. Come to think of it, why don't we use polluted water? That'll get us the extra band that we need on the coolant. Yeah, I think maybe using polluted water. We don't have like a ready source of polluted water is the main issue with that. Okay, this saltwater geyser is going again. This should stay under 75 degrees. Looks like it is. That's good. Yeah, so I guess we want to feed polluted water in as our coolant for this system. Which is awkward because this is our source of polluted water, right? Okay, let's cancel this plan right here. Cancel all this. Cancel, cancel, cancel. All these plans right here. And instead, let's go ahead. I guess we still want the power, right? Okay, we're still gonna do that. Instead, let's go ahead and link. Instead of drawing from our cooling budget, let's draw from our irrigation budget here. And say plumbing, liquid bridge. We're just gonna do this. This is all polluted water at this point. I think we're good on that end. Yeah, okay. Plumbing, liquid bridge. Siphon me off some water, please. Just like so. Liquid pipe. Igneous rock is fine. Run this across here and down here. Priority 7, all this. And then we will say plumbing, liquid pipe, igneous rock. We are just going to then run this back right across over here. And we can... Let's just deconstruct this one, I guess. We'll do this. Just like so. Yeah, let's do this. We'll use the polluted water that we're generating from this process. We'll siphon it off to this metal refinery. We'll use that to run the steel. It'll come back really hot, and that'll cause cooling issues everywhere, but it'll mean that we don't have to do a lot of other work over here. Yeah, I think because otherwise we need to cool this area down a lot more before we can get the get it to accept the get the coolant cold enough so that it will accept it and not break our pipes ultimately. Okay. That little problem solved, I think. Let's repair this. No more iron to steel. They'll keep repairing this until we get this done. We need 11 batches basically through here, which is a lot to siphon off. But we're kind of adding it back in. It's just, I don't know. We're gonna have some major heat issues as soon as this happens. We're gonna like need to rush from getting our steel to getting our aquatuner up and running, because otherwise we're just going to be in a really, really bad shape. But I think that's the solution. You guys aren't cramped, are you? Alright, let's bump the speed back up. How it coming along on my new hatch ranch? Coming along at all? How you guys doing? Let's get rid of this, and we're going to have a door right here. I guess don't get rid of this. No. Let's continue digging out that, but let's say base, pneumatic door. Do I have copper around here? Tame glum because you're off over here, because you got through an open door, or because you hopped down through here. Sure. Wrangle. Priority 8. 8. Let's go and grab the escapees, throw them back in prison. Base, pneumatic door. I have copper around here. Okay, let's use copper then. Just like so, and then we can set up our other stuff right here. Priority 8 on this is fine. And I guess let's also just say priority 7 on the rest of this for now. I guess this one wants to be priority 8. That way we can get our ranches up and going. Okay. We still have farms offline, which is not great for us, considering our population. We don't really want that to happen. But I think we actually have a path forward here. The alternative with the steel is we just make it to the Gravitas Center, right? That's doable. Who's actually starving? Ellie, you're not actually starving. Gossman, you're not actually starving either. Okay. Sort it out, you two. Okay. Awkwardly, we can't use ice temp shift plate in this area to cool this down if we want to do this, because we need the polluted water. I mean, we have so much going right now. I think we're... like, our oxygen's pretty good. Our water supplies are pretty good. I'm feeling actually really good about our water supplies as they stand right now. I almost want to bank some of this water to keep it at a reasonably... because like, we don't want to send the hot water that's going to come out of the system into our arbor trees. That's going to get really awkward really fast. Also, I guess because we're looping, this is going to create issues. Yeah, this is awkward. Because my cooling solution for here is still ice temp shift plates, but I can't cool down the area without introducing water into this. Like, maybe we want to set up a small mechanical filter. Where did we dump the water, though? Like, we almost want to just loop this back around rather than do this siphon right here, so that we can, one, avoid hot water getting into our irrigated area, which kills our trees, but also avoid this area just looping upon itself and heating up. I guess the real answer is that we just send this back to rejoin over here. Okay, cancel this deconstruct. This is complicated. So liquid pipe, igneous rock. We're going to loop this all the way back around to here. And then... it still doesn't solve the problem of how we're going to cool this area down ultimately, I guess. Because we are probably going to peg these above 75 degrees once we do this. And then our whole system shuts down. Oh... flushing the heat won't work. We don't have that as an opportunity here. For one, we don't have the materials to do it. Like, we don't have steel or gold. So that solution won't... it's just not big enough is also another problem. So we can't really do that. We can... I guess one option is we just run this straight to our electrolyzers, and they will accept hot water pretty well. Right? That's actually something we kind of want to do. Is make sure that we're sending hot water to the electrolyzers. What are we sending it at right now? Like, kind of colder than it should be. That does mean we want to set up... I guess right, yeah, we don't quite have enough space, do we? We want to set up then a water sieve, a second water sieve on this system. It's getting really spaghetti. This is some hardcore spaghetti we're about to get into here. Because I only have 3 spaces here. I need 4 for my sieve. I could stick the sieve right here. Powering that becomes not that hard. Okay. This is unreachable as things stand anyways. Let's deconstruct this priority 8. And we'll set up a water sieve right here. I've actually already grabbed all the sand from this area too. That's awkward. Yeah, we'll set up a water sieve right here, and then it'll go into our electrolyzers. We can, in fact, I suppose, distinguish between these electrolyzers. Yeah, we'll want to do that as well. We'll want to send it into like this electrolyzer, I think is the solution. Or, I mean, you know, baby, I'm overthinking this, actually. If we're going to siphon off the water, let's just take the water hit. Yeah, let's just take the hit when it comes to the water. And let's contain the heat somewhere until we get our cooling solution. Like, I'm so worried about how we're doing our cooling. Let's just store this stuff. So refinement, metal refinery. We still want this. But we are going to now just say plumbing, liquid pipe. What temperature is this, though? 71, 81. Ah, man, we are like right at the limit. We're gonna do this. We're gonna say plumbing, not plumbing, base, liquid reservoir. And cancel this as well. Liquid reservoir. We need to do 12 batches. So we actually have exactly enough with 1 liquid reservoir. We're just gonna dump this stuff. That's the plan. Aluminum's fine with me. We... What is your overheat temperature, actually? Refinement. Overheat temperature is 75 degrees. I actually kind of want to make some ceramic and make this out of ceramic. We're just going to dump it here. We're definitely doing this. We'll do insulated pipe to try and reduce how bad we let it get. Like so. That's a lot of water to drain from the system, ultimately, because it's basically 5 tons of water that we're pulling from the system. But we're already at a pretty good spot for water. So I think we're actually we can coast off of what we have. If we need to, we can actually just pump water from here to here. But let's just do this. Okay. I finally figured out the solution, I think. I was not expecting this to be this challenging. I was expecting like easy stream, get our steel turbine up. Because I forgot that it's 55 degrees temperature difference, so and repairing this pipe is not. We're also like not able to get all 400 kilograms out before this pipe breaks. We get like 100 kilograms out maybe. Let's actually figure this out. So let's set this to priority to a 9 for the repair job, and we have 300 kilograms that they're trying to unload right now, right? Yeah. Let's see how much they get out. Oh, and new printables available. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. There's steel. They're offering me 100 kilograms of steel. Tempting. We have 25 cycles to print 5 more duplicates. Maybe we use a skip on steel. It's only like 1/12 of what we need, but I mean it's steel. it's the thing that we need to do. Okay, so we print. We have what, 8 more printings after this. We need to use 5 of them on duplicates. That's fine. We can get there. We can get to 50 duplicates by cycle 200 and take a skip now, and still have a good amount of skips. Tryptophobia is really bad anyways. And I guess we would end up we can't go with auto anyways, can we? We already have 2 autos. Right? Yeah, we already have auto number 2. So we actually can't print out auto, who's the only, like, decent one of the bunch. Okay, I talked myself into it. Taking the steel. Give me that steel. Hit me up with that steel. Can't take a 3rd auto anyways. We need 2 of everybody, not 3 of everybody. Okay, this is cleared out now. Let's go ahead and set up our critter drop-off right here. Make this out of copper. We want stations. Grooming station. Also can make this out of copper. And then food. Critter feeder. This can also be out of copper. Boom. Boom. Priority 8 on this. And get another ranch up. Seems like a plan. You guys aren't cramped. You guys are cramped. Glum, groomed, happy. How many critters do I have in here? 3? And you have 2 eggs in here. We can go up to 4 for the moment. And we have 5 in here plus an egg. Plus 2 eggs, so we need to. This is already at auto wrangle 4, and then this isn't a stable because we broke it. Okay, finish up the making this a stable. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna take the polluted water from here because it has a an extra 20 degrees buffer in terms of when it boils. This, what happened here? Did we get? Oh, okay. So this is actually fine now. It's under the point. Interesting. Why did it mix? Also, how do we have 1,800 kilograms of water in? It should only be able to store 1,200 kilograms. It's a little funky. Okay, well, replace the pipe again. And then we'll be fine. We still have plenty of water down here. We have emptied this, right? Okay, so we're now going to get water going back into these areas. Perfect. We're going to need to fill up this area over here, ultimately. There's no real point working on this until we get the steel, because we need to set up the aquatuner before we can enclose the area and do the rest of the work. So I think it's fine just leaving it the way it is right now. But I think we're ultimately going to have it right up there. And if we're not spending our cooling budget, we're spending our water budget, not our cooling budget, to get. If we're going to spend our water budget, not our cooling budget, to get the steel, then let's go ahead and spend our cooling budget in a way that makes sense. Cool off these trees over here, and this is still fine. I guess we can't spend any cooling over here for the time being. I can live with that. Yeah, spend it right here, and then we'll drop another one later. No one has slime lung, right? Max 2, Liam 1, Max 2, Max 2. Are you actually starving? No, you're finishing up going to the bathroom. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And we filled up our storage bins full of polluted dirt again. Again, I need to keep this area clear of polluted dirt. That way my carbon skimmers will remain online. What are these set to? 8,000 kilograms? I guess we could set up more there. There's no point exploring out this area except to find maybe geysers or something, and this area has all gotten really hot. So I think we're coming back to here once we have like Atmo suits to try and finish up this heat shield, because this leaky heat over here is also this is getting bad, right? Like this is up to 87. This is we need to worry about this right after we get the rest of our stuff online. Where do I want oxygen? We have plenty of oxygen down here. This working area is all fine. Maybe we just set up. I don't want to interfere with this skimmer that we have up here, but maybe we just want to get rid of this at this point. Which is awkward because we built all these hydrogen generators to skim the hydrogen from the top of this system and send it to here, and now we're going to move the entire skimmer. Kind of inefficient. But let's go ahead and just get some oxygen, more oxygen going. Igneous rock is fine. Let's slap them down. I guess I could also... I don't want to set it up next to the oxyferns either. Let's set it up over here. Yeah, that can't hurt, right? Yeah, sure, this is fine. Let's dig out just an area. Does it matter? Let's dig out an area like this and then actually just say base, igneous rock. Just populate this entire area with polluted dirt storage. Maybe canceling this one, and saying oxygen, deodorizer, igneous rock. Just like so. You know what? Actually, no, let's do that. I was thinking of just having them sit up here, but we'll leave them down here. Priority 7 on all this. Set up more polluted dirt storage. I guess for the time being, let's also just go ahead and say 15,000. Copy settings across here. Spreading this out across more of these bins, though, will mean that we get more off-gassing of the polluted oxygen, which will be really helpful. Okay, so this is actually all draining out now, which is crazy. I don't know how the internal temperature got brought down, but we got there. This is all draining out just fine now, and then we just want to run the rest of these iron operations. And I think that's... once we get this set up, we can then turn it all into steel. Right? Seems reasonable to me. What temperature is this coming in at? 55 degrees, basically. That's fine with me. 55 degrees plus 55 will still be under. Will still be under the point where we have problems due to pipe breaking, and then we can get our cooling solution up and running, and we'll cool down this area after we're all done. Yeah, build this temperature plate, please. Okay. We also need to start thinking again about the Slickster ranches. You guys are cramped. Glum. Glum. You kind of just need to have more ranchers as well. They're not cramped. These guys over here are cramped at this point because they haven't been brought over to the other place. Okay, who else is interested in ranching? Travaldo, you're taking improved carrying. Abe, you are not interested in ranching. We haven't done anything for your morale. You're sleeping on the ground still. You're one of the people sleeping on the ground. Okay. Yeah, Rowan, let's go ahead and take a free point for you. I guess we'll just take a free point for Max as well. Art fundamentals and grilling? Nails. Nails number 2, you are a little disappointing. You need a STEM degree if you want to get a job. What are you thinking? Like this is English major interests. I'm not. Come on, man. We got better things to do. Sure. Let's get you smartened up there, Mima. Improved tinkering. I mean, actually, do we have a really good operator? Is a good question. Because that would actually, it reduces our power needs a little bit here. Let's go to priorities. I should have done this before we did all the iron and whatnot, but who has really good operating? 5. Because the shorter we run that, the shorter we run our refinery, the less power it will take. May, you are a +9. Okay, let's bump you up. And let's demote you a little bit in the farming area. Marie, also really raring to go with his operating skills. Okay, Marie and May are my 2 good ones. Let's go back to skills here. Here's Marie. We could get it up another +2, but that isn't really going to do much. I probably just would want to, like, scrub her afterwards. And May, she also has the improved tinkering. Okay. We'll go back on the hunt for people who want to do critter ranching. Who wants to be a rancher? You're already a rancher. Who wants this thing? Because I think we just need a couple more to handle the growing population of creatures. Anybody? Anybody? You like ranching? Who likes ranching? Wow. No one loves the little beasties. Okay, Liam, you're an expert builder, and that's great. But your true passion, of course, has always been ranching. Isn't that right? So you're going to get on that. You already like ranching. And Ruby, kind of the same as Liam. Got a degree in architecture, but true love has always been hatches of the biological variety, not the, the hatch. It's a confusing name that they gave for the critter, to call them a hatch when presumably at some point they want to make like a hatch thing in the game. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. So we get you +1 morale. RE number 2. What are we doing with you? All right, I think we're bumping RE number 2 up, and we're going to need to make sure that he has a table to sit at in the Great Hall. So RE number 2, Jean number 2. They need their morale improved. And Sure. Oh, well, okay. We don't have a second point to put in that, but that's fine. Give you the farming anyways. And you have, what, no interests? Wait, what? Where are your interests? Abe. There's no... Don't tell me that you're interested in... Okay, never mind. I didn't just see this. You're interested in wearing suits. That's great. 10 out of 10. Okay. I already forgot the names. Ari number 2 and... Nails number 2? No. Who was the other person that I needed? It was Liam, right? Or something like that? Who else needed the morale boost? Jean number 2. Okay. Ari number 2, Jean number 2. You guys need your own spot in the Great Hall. Also, who's injured? Harold and Travaldo, because you went digging in that area. Let's just get you some bed rest. So Ari number 2 and Jean number 2 need to eat up here now. Who can we kick out? Who is doing just dandy when it comes to the morale? Let's just go down like so. I mean, Ari doesn't really need the seat. Let's give this to Ari number 2. Right, he can take a -6 to his morale. Gossman, May, Auto number 1. What does Auto number 1 look like? Auto number 1 can also take a -6 to his morale. Okay, those are our 2. Otto, you are giving up your seat to Jean number 2. I think we're good to go on that front. They'll be fine on morale. Okay. Let's also... Oh, they're already building the other temp shift plate. That's fine. Oh, looks like my time is up, you guys. So we made okay progress. The metal refining thing is getting really complicated because we need it to get to our cooling solution, but we need a cooling solution for the metal refinery, and we're just not really making a lot of progress on digging up to the gravitas center, which is, I guess, the faster way of doing it, but this is like this is a long path that we have to take because we ran into these heat problems over here. Like, this is just way too hot because a little bit of the obsidian that was in this hot area spawned outside of it, and so we've had issues. But yeah, so we need to get our steel up so that we can set up. This is the plan, just so everybody knows what we're doing going forward. We're setting up a little insulated area here for our thermal aquatuner, right? We're going to flood this area with water, and that's going to make sure that it's only steam in this room, right? So we're going to have basically this whole bottom layer filled with water, and then this layer up here just filled with enough water to push out the air. And then we'll build the insulation on top of this, and then we can plop down a steam turbine anytime we want, right? And then we're also going to set up a heavy watt joint plate that is going to be, we're basically going to have a heavy watt joint plate like right here, right? And it is going to have a vacuum tile right here, and then it is going to connect to the rest of the base. So we're going to have basically a little vacuumed out area right here, which we're going to be able to set up at the same time that we do our filling with water, because we can use the water to create a vacuum. So we're going to have a little vacuumed power connection to this aquatuner, and we're going to set up a cooling loop around the base, controlling it basically through liquid valves to kind of control how much cooling we want to go to what area. And we'll start off with like a small grid, which will cover sort of our industrial area. And then as it cools down even further, right, as it gets this area under control, we'll start expanding it out to the areas where we have farming. And that's the plan for cooling down our base. Even just one thermal aquatuner is going to be enough to cool down a ton when it comes to our base, right? Because it's going to be about 500,000 DTUs per second that's going to be cooling things down. And most of this other stuff, like this petroleum generator and stuff like that, this is only 20,000 DTUs per second, right? So 500,000 is going to dwarf all the heat that we're currently generating in our base and get ourselves nice and cool. And that means we won't have these issues with our farms going offline. And that should, if we get the farms cool enough, bridge us to the point where our ranches come online. And then once our ranches come online, we can start converting a lot of this farmland to domesticated trees. And once we get big domesticated tree production up and going and running a bunch of ethanol distillers, we're just going to fill up more and more and more of these storage bins with polluted dirt. And all that polluted dirt is going to off-gas into polluted oxygen. Like once we have around 2,000 tons of polluted dirt, that just alone will be able to sustain 70 duplicates off of the oxygen that it creates, right? So we have, and we're not going to run out of sand to filter that oxygen if that's an issue either. We're literally, the whole idea of the map is we're surrounded by sand. So we have our long-term oxygen solution sort of on the horizon, and the medium step is converting this farmland to trees, and the step to get to that is having more of our food switch over to ranching. And the way we get to more ranching is that we temporarily keep our farms up so we don't starve to death until the hatch population can grow. There's also, of course, the little minor issue of our oxygen supplies. But this is like this electrolyzer room is big enough as it is right now. We almost pretty much have all the infrastructure set up. It's just really a matter of finishing up the last bits of these oxygen lines that we're running into our base, right? And once we get that going, then we're pretty much set. We will need to do a lot with the CO2 that we're generating as we expand our ethanol distilleries, right? That's ultimately going to be something we need to deal with, but that's also why we have the slickster ranching. And when it comes down to it, we could just run more carbon skimmers as well. But this is going to be, like, this whole process with expanding out the trees is going to be hugely power positive. So we're going to have a lot of extra power to run a lot more carbon skimmers and remove the CO2 from the area. But any excess CO2 we're going to be sending down to slicksters, and that's going to make this entire process, in fact, a water positive process. And so late game, like really late game, like probably a couple hundred cycles from now, we'll have a bunch of cooling solutions in place that really only cost us power to provide the cooling, no duplicate labor or anything like that. And all the water that we're getting from these saltwater geysers and other sources on our map, and the sort of excess water that we're generating from our bathrooms and from our ethanol industry, that can all go into things like making steam rockets, things like, we can use that water for a lot of other purposes. We can electrolyze it and use the hydrogen for things. That's going to be basically resources that we use for other ends. A lot of it, to be frank, is going to go into oil reservoirs and ultimately generate petroleum, but that's even further down the road, setting up basically an oil cracker that turns our oil into natural gas or petroleum or whatever we choose is going to be long run sort of stuff. So short stream today, but yeah, we ran into a lot of complicated issues that I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought this was going to be really straightforward, and then when we ran into the hiccup with the metal refinery, and I still don't understand how this metal refinery ended up sorting itself out, right? Like, we had, it's now all at a fine temperature, and we're just loading up this liquid reservoir as we finish up these iron tasks, right? We have 5 more iron ore to iron errands to run, but we had an issue where the coolant didn't mix in the metal refinery before, which is what I expect, right? I don't expect the coolant to mix, but then it sort of mixed, right? We have this 0 kilograms at 93.5. I don't know how this got down to 93.5, quite frankly, because we didn't do anything with it. But so yeah, where are we at? We have manufactured material. We have 200 kilograms of the 1,200 kilograms of steel that we need to set up our aquatuner, and we'll do that first, and then later we'll set up the steam turbine to start removing power from that aquatuner room. Anyways, that's it for the stream. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream, and yeah, we'll pick this up from where we left off today next time, and hopefully in sort of a longer stream finish up either this trip out to the Gravitas Center to harvest the steel and get ourselves ahead that way, or just finish up our little refining operation that we're setting up down here, and then get our aquatuner set up and be on the road to actually having a sustainable base. Thank everybody for coming out, and I'll see you guys next time.